Hey, what's good YouTube? It's Yamiston here, back again with another video. This time, I'll be reviewing the ATK X1 Pro that I have here right now. I got this last week. I've been testing it out for a week now, and I'm very confident on giving a review of this mouse. So first of all, let's start with the build quality. So this thing is built like a tank. Like as you can see, I'm trying to death grip. Nothing's happening. There's no popping, no side flexing, no anything, no creaking. Side to side wobble on the mouse 1, mouse 2, very minimal. So you can see there's no like shell creaking even if I press the bin underneath. That's especially nice to see compared to something like from my ULX Tiger where there's some creaking when I just pinch the sides at the top. Obviously when I pinch the bottom and here, like build quality for like this mouse, like $190 mouse is very poor as compared to something like this $50 mouse. So yeah, build quality excellent. Next is the coating. Let's talk about the coating. So this is very nice, very grippy, rubberized, but not as rubberized as the GPX. It's about 90% of the rubberized feeling of the GPX. It reminds me actually of the OG Atlantis charcoal black color coating that they used to have. So yeah, very good, very grippy. Good for sweaty hands like mine. Like I have sweaty hands, especially when gaming for a long period. So the coating is very nice and very grippy for me. Okay, so next, let's talk about the weight. So on my scale, it says 49.5 grams, which is close to the advertised weight. They advertise the X1 Pro at 49 grams plus minus 3 grams, unit to unit variant. So at least mine is very close to the advertised 49 grams. Compared to the ULX, which is 39.7, and my GPX comes in at 60 grams. So do I notice a difference when claw gripping? I will say I do feel a difference between my X1 Pro and the GPX Superlit, especially when doing fast flicks like that. I can feel a difference there. But something like the my ULX Tiger and the X1 Pro, like there isn't that much of a difference. I feel like anything under 50 grams for or 50 and below for claw grip is very good already. So yeah, I don't think lowering the weight below 50 is actually. I mean, like as long as you hit the 50 and below weight, I think that's already good enough for claw grip. Next is the skates. Okay, so the skates on this, like, they're not my favorite skates. They remind me of what Pulsar used to offer for PTFE skates, or what they currently offer. So they're nice, they're smooth. They're not scratchy by any means, or especially on my EMC pad, they don't feel scratchy. They feel nice. They feel smooth enough, but they're not as smooth as something like the Jades from X-Ray Pad or like you Tiger Ice V2s. Okay, so I still prefer aftermarket options, but like for the price, like this is very good. Like for $50, this is way better than what I got from my Dharma Shark. So next is the shape. Okay, so the shape, obviously, if you look at Elo shapes, this is basically a Viper V3 inspired shape, but it's also very close to the ULX Tiger. So I believe the only difference is like the hump height, I think, and I guess the length, but they're very similar shape. This is just 1 millimeter shorter. This is 1 millimeter taller. So yeah. So shape wise, it wasn't much of an issue transitioning from my ULX Tiger to this. I actually like the added hump size because like it has more contact. I usually knuckle claw my ULX Tiger, so yeah, it still has contact points on my knuckle here. This part of my thumb palm area and then this part, but also because of the added hump height, there's contact here. So when I claw grip the X1, it feels really nice and stable. So when I'm holding angles, I feel confident. Like it doesn't move too much in my hands. But when I do need to micro adjust, like I still have that option because of the hand maneuverability of this mouse. So yeah. But compared to the V3 Pro, I think the side buttons and the scroll wheel are in different locations, so that's why I call it a Viper V3 inspired shape. The side button placement is very close to the ULX Tiger. The only difference is the ULX Tiger curves inward. So when I claw grip, my thumb actually doesn't make contact with the side buttons unless I actually want to actuate them. as compared to the X1, which we're in, like when I claw grip this, sometimes it touches like this, like as you can see, like on the webcam, like my hand is on the bottom of the side buttons. I don't accidentally actuate them or anything like that, but if you have, I guess, bigger hands than mine, like I have 19.5 by 10 cm hands, and my thumb isn't that thick, but if you have thick thumbs or I don't know, fat fingers like that, like this might be an issue for you, especially if you claw grip, because your hand might be actually on top of the side buttons already, and you don't want to accidentally actuate your side buttons. Me personally, I haven't actuated the side buttons by accident, but yeah, that's just something to be mindful of. Okay. So next is the sensor. So this is using the 3950 sensor because Razer's exclusivity ran out. So I can't really tell much of a difference when using the X1 Pro as compared to the 3950 on my ULX Tiger and whatever Logitech Hero 25 can sensor technology is on the Logitech one. So on my Superlight. So yeah. So sensor implementation is really good. No skipping, no mistracking, no I think because the Viper V3 Pro has some tracking issues. I think no, I haven't experienced that one. That kind of problem with my X1 Pro here. So yeah. Next is the clicks. Okay, so the main clicks use Omron optical switches, which feel very light, very spammable, crisp, a bit loud for my taste. They really remind me of the Ninjutsu Sora 4K implementation. So if you like those main clicks, you like the implementation here on the X1 Pro. Personally, I still prefer my transparent blue shell pink dots because they're more muted. They still feel light, crisp, and spammable, but they don't sound as loud as on the X1 Pro. Next is the side buttons. So the side buttons have a bit of pre-travel and a bit more of post-travel compared to pre-travel, but I don't really play that many games that use side buttons. I don't play Fortnite, so this isn't really much of a problem for me. No wobble on the side buttons, as you can see. And then the scroll clicks, it feels nice, especially compared to something like the uh, G Pro Superlight. These side buttons, too much pre-travel, too much post-travel. They aren't as uh, clicky feeling and crisp feeling as compared to the X1 Pro, which uses Juanos. Next is the scroll wheel encoder because I'm very picky with my scroll wheel encoder, and this is the first mouse that out of the box I didn't feel the need to have this modded. So they feel very similar to TTC Gold V2s in that you can do when you go slow, it's very nice, well defined, tactile steps, but when you go fast, it becomes very smooth. So yeah, so like my modded GPX and my modded ultralight, it feels really nice. Next is the software. Okay, so as you can see, my mouse is already paired to the ATK dongle. So yeah, there's that. So software, I had to install the ATK software. You can find it in atk.pro, I think. Then you just download the software, install it. Then there's a pairing process. It'll teach you how. There's also a manual on the 8K dongle. Just read it. And basically, once I had this paired, you can just go to the web-based software and just change it there, or you can use the one that's installed in your PC. It's up to you. Whatever you change on the PC, it'll appear on the web-based software and vice versa. So there's that. So for example, if you go to a friend's house, you bring this mouse, you plug it in, just go to the web-based software on the for the ATK mouse, then just change some settings there. Then when you get home, it'll be automatically applied when you open the PC software. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So what can you do on the software side? You can change the key settings, DPI, and then on the performance setting, you can change the polling rate, LOD, motion sync, ankle snapping, ripple collection, esports mode, which we'll talk about later because it really affects battery life, at least for me. Hibernation setting, keystroke, which basically means this is just like debound setting, I think. Then ultra range mode, long range mode, sorry. The receiver lighting effects, I do wish that the receiver lighting effects was similar to the ULX Tiger, in which you can just have this show battery life. Or because right now the X1 Pro can't do that. I hope someday like they'll update this so that it can show battery life. Because which would be a nice segue to battery life. Actually, let's just talk about battery life because that's one of the issues I have with this mouse. This has a 250 milliampere battery. Battery life is okay. Like it's advertised at 75 hours at 1K hertz polling. I do not get that with esports mode because with esports mode on, like I get like 4 days of use with 4 to 8 hours of gaming depending on the day. So yeah, so battery life isn't that great. Like it's not dead by the fourth day, but it's at 20%. Like the DPI effect here is starting to blink red, so that means it's at 20%. The software doesn't really isn't really at that accurate when it comes to battery life. Like it says on the manual, like if this is green when you plug it in, like the DPI part here, color part here is green already. That means it's with 100% charge. But after 5 minutes of unplugging and checking the software again when using it on wireless mode, like you're gonna see like it's already at 75%. So I'm not sure about the accuracy on the software side of showing the battery life, but like I just went with whatever this call if this blinks or not. So I get 4 days. If you want longer battery life, you just get the X1 Pro Max, which has 500 milliamperes, or the X1 Ultra. Okay. So next is unboxing and accessories. So since this was a pre-order unit, I got the 8K dongle. Even though I bought this from Shopee, I still got the 8K dongle. This comes with extra PTFE skates. It also comes with grips and braided USB cable, and also the 1K receiver dongle, obviously. So yeah, very good. Unboxing felt very similar to the Lamzo OG Lamzo Atlantis. Really reminded me of that, except there was no pouch, and the box was a bit smaller, obviously. But yeah. Next is value for money and conclusion. So let's start first with value for money. At pre-order price of $50, it's unquestioned. Like this is the best mouse you can get for $50 and below. No questions asked. At $80 US regular price without the 8K dongle, unless you really want to try higher polling rates, I think it's still the best mouse value. Like $80 compared to the $100 options, like for the X2, the Pulsar X2, the Lamzo Atlantis. Like this is still so much better compared to them. You could have told me this was $100 mouse and I'd believe you. So next is let's talk conclusion. So in my opinion, this is like the best mouse out there for under $100. Period. Like even if like Pulsar X2 or Lamzu Atlantis was on sale and it's $90, this is 80, and it's hard for me to recommend another mouse aside from this unless you have really small hands. Then like because obviously this doesn't work for every hand size. Like if you have smaller hands, I guess you won't be able to claw grip this properly, but for most people, like this is really good mouse. The value of this is unmatched, especially on in my unit at least. Like, cause I got a unit that was basically perfect. I don't know. Not a lot of people have gotten their units yet. I think, or not a lot of people have bought the ATK X1 Pro. I think, cause I haven't seen on the subreddits or on social media or even on YouTube covering this mouse much and saying that it has bad build quality. So far mine had basically perfect build quality, so that's why I'm really recommending this mouse. So hopefully there won't be any issues like batch issues wherein like some of the some of the batches of the this X1 will be having creaking or sensor issues or whatnot. So I'm just basically making this recommendation based on the unit I have, and basically the unit I have is basically perfect. So that's why I highly recommend this. Like it's hard for me to justify saying go with the Viper V3 Pro, even though I haven't tried the Viper V3 Pro. I wanna preface that, but for the value that this gives, it's really 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 great. Like it doesn't even break the bank that much, and you get a solid offering from a new mouse company. So my research ATK, and what I got was basically they've already partnered with the VCT team Leviathan, so they're basically sponsoring them now. They also offer different other options like the F1 mouse, and there you have the Hall effect keyboard. So hopefully that it's a sign that this ATK will be the gaming division of VXC now. So hopefully they'll stick around for much long. I hope it'll be, at least you'll be confident that they'll be around for at least more than a year, I guess, because they're already sponsoring a team for VCT. So like they sound really committed. So yeah, so this, for me, in my opinion, like this is the um, unrivaled value king. Sorry, that's what I wanted to say. The build quality is excellent. Clicks feel great. Performance is great. Coating is great. The meh thing here is the skates. They're just meh. They're not bad, but they're not also great. And the only complaint I have is actually battery life when you have esports mode on. So that's it. So that's basically it for this review. I highly recommend this mouse, especially if you can get it at the pre-order price of $50. Highly, highly recommended. But even at $80, I still recommend this mouse. You don't really need the 8K dongle to enjoy this mouse. Like 1000 hertz is basically enough for most people. Will I still be trying to get my hands on the Viper V3 Pro? Of course I will, because the side buttons are different, and obviously I want to compare the inspiration to the what inspired it, I guess. I guess that's the term. So yeah, so anyway, please like and subscribe if you like this video. Um, if any mouse company wants to start sponsoring me because I'm producing content, I wouldn't mind. But obviously it'll be still be unbiased review. So yeah. Anyway, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.